Okay guys, so welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kevin Mangum. I'm a local realtor here in the Houston area. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 hidden things you must know when you buy new construction. So a lot of times when you talk about new construction, we talk about all the things that incentives, all the different promotions that's going on, how much equity you get if you buy a new construction home, if you buy at a certain time. But today I'm talking about the things that I think are hidden things that you really must consider when you buy new construction. They sometimes go overlooked, and then you miss out on taking advantage of the fact that it is new construction. Now, one of the reasons why I thought this video was prevalent is because I got a few clients right now going through the process of building a new construction home. And these are things that I share with them that I feel like are valuable tools to help when we're looking at picking out a new construction home, as well as just really, maximizing their dollar when they're buying new construction. Now, these things you might have heard before. I don't want to say I made up some new things, but I rarely hear people talk about them. And as a person who's representing a real estate professional who's representing clients with new construction, I want to make sure I can take care of them and make sure we get the best experience buying a new construction home as possible. And so one of the things I wanted to go over 5 things I think are critical. Starting with the first thing is your lot. Okay, now a lot of people say, okay, Kevin, it's a lot. It's obvious. I'm getting a lot. We're trying to figure out, do we like to be in the cul-de-sac? Do we want an oversized lot? Do we want a lot in the, maybe at the front of the subdivision? All those different things. But one of the things I think sometimes go overlooked is how your home sits on the lot. So when you go to your, the builder, and you talk with the builder and you sit down, you say, okay, this is the home we want. You pick out your home, you site it, and then you say, okay, which lot you're looking at, okay? One of the critical things I think is important is understanding the build line, all right? Now, a lot of people might say, oh, Kevin, I know what the build line is, but sometimes you really don't, especially when you're looking at it on a map, okay? The sales representative for the builder, they come out with a map. They sit down with you, they say, okay, this is the lot you picked, this is what it should look like, and you kind of decide it. You're like, okay, well, how big is the lot? Okay, cool, it's 10,000 square feet, 15,000 square feet, whatever size the lot may be, and you're happy about it. Now, you gotta visualize this home sitting on a lot. Now, from experience myself, and this happened to me, and so we got a home, we were super excited, we loved our home, we have a 1-story home, and 1-story homes, they take up a good amount of your lot. So as a person that's a novice, when it came to real estate at the time, I didn't really pay it no mind. And my realtor didn't really go over that at the time, but we were excited and we had an oversized lot. Well, we have in our mind that we're gonna have different things that we're gonna do in our backyard, whether it's a pool or just having play area space for the kids. That's what we have in our mind that we wanted for our property. Now, a lot of times when, like I said, when you get the home, you pick out, you get your lot, really they don't say, oh, this is your build line, meaning that this is where the builder would start building a home. What stood out was that I looked at my neighbor's home, and their home was getting built out. Their home set further, well, my home set further back, and their home set, further up, which kind of threw me off. I was like, man, I don't like how that looked. I really didn't like it at all. Also, I wasn't probably paying attention when they were showing me on the map that the homes next to me would be where the backyard is facing my side of my house. So I would have a fence running in my front yard, which for me, for the first, I would say a few months, I didn't like it at all. It was uncomfortable. I just didn't like it. I felt like we were looking at each other, but not looking at each other. It was like if you ever watched Tim the Toolman Taylor, this is to tell you how old I am. Back in the day, he would have a neighbor that would peek over the fence and look, and they'll have conversations, but you never saw the neighbor's face. You just saw his eyes and the top of his head. That's how I felt with my neighbors at first, but we all great. It's actually pretty cool. We all talk and communicate all the time, but it was just different. And I say that to say, you want to know your build line. You want to know where your home is sitting. You want to know your easements, because sometimes you already have a plan. If you're a person that had a pool in your other home, you want a pool in this home, you want to have the pool you want. You don't want to have to make concessions because you don't have enough room because of the easement and the build line, right? And you might decide, okay, I want a 2-story because I want to get most of my lot, right? Because a 2-story goes vertical versus 1-story, you're going horizontal. You're not horizontal, but you're going vertically down, if that makes sense. I know, I'm sorry, it might not make sense, but You get my drift. You take up a lot more of your lot size. So you want to make sure you're aware that the build line is critical before you finalize which house you're going to get. Because if you really saying, hey, you want an entertainment space for your backyard, or you want to make sure you don't have any back neighbors, you want to know that, because that's one thing sometimes you hear from the sales representatives, you won't have any back neighbors. Well, I got news flash for you. If the land is not divided with some type of either man-made lake, or if it doesn't have like sometimes they have the retention ponds or ditch, massive trench, or maybe even power lines or something like that to separate the land, then you're probably going to have the potential of having, back neighbors, okay? So make sure you're aware when you sit down with your realtor or the sales professional that works for the builders, you keep that in mind, that you understand it could be a possibility that you could have back neighbors if they have just open land and it ends up getting sold to another developer, or the developer that's already building in a community decides to buy some more land and keep developing and building out more homes. So that's number one, being understanding of your lot that you're purchasing, all right? So number two, I think it's important that you sit down with your builder and you understand the stages of the build out of your home. The reason why is because we always want to make sure our clients are getting a clear understanding on how the home is going to be built out, and also making sure the home is built out to the standard of the builder at the highest quality as possible. So we always recommend that you get a home inspector, okay? Now, I know sometimes people say, well, it's a builder, they're building a great home. They're going to build it to the standard that I saw in the model home, and that may be the case. But what I would tell you, builders make mistakes. Also, builders they hire contractors. Most of these builders they don't have construction companies, okay? They don't have, Perry Construction or Highland Construction. No, they hire a general contractor come in to actually start each phase of the home build out. Now they have a superintendent, they have someone who actually goes, a construction manager who actually goes and reviews each stage of the home. And some of the better builders will schedule time with you to walk the actual property with you through each stage. But to protect you and to make sure you're getting your return on your investment, we always recommend hiring a professional inspector, someone who follows TREC rules and regulations when it comes to really looking at the inspection of the home. And they will send a report to yourself, as well as you have a realtor, and you and the realtor review it. And so, like, for example, with me and my clients, I review the inspection report. I communicate the inspection report back to the sales representative, as well as the construction manager, superintendent, to make sure, hey, these things came up in the report. What are the actionable items that's needed to take place to make sure these things will get fixed before we move to the next stage? Because the last thing you want to have is you have an inspection report done, or you don't have an inspection done, and then you have framing go up. Framing goes up, next thing you know, is sheetrock, electrical is in, and they're already moving to the next phase of the building out of the home. So you want to make sure with each phase you have an inspection done, so you can make sure if everything's going right, everything is done perfect. Man, that's a great thing. You as a client, you're happy, you're getting the home that you're paid for. But people make mistakes, things happen. We want to catch those mistakes as much as we can during each stage. So then at that point, we can correct it and communicate with the builder, and then we can move on from there. So make sure you hire an inspector, okay? Make sure also you understand the staging of the build out of your home. So if you're sitting and you're thinking about, hey, my home is just get ready to be built here in a few months. Most of the builders right now are saying 6 to 8 months to build out a home. So that's a long time, right? You want to make sure you can have somebody keep your best interest. And between yourself, your realtor, and inspector, having that many set of eyes will help the builder get the home to the level of quality that you're looking for, all right? So that's number two. The third thing I think is really important is really understanding your taxes and HOA, okay? So a lot of times when you get a new home and it gets built, the first year, you really just getting taxed with the land value. Okay, so you look up, if you have everything tied into your mortgage, your taxes, your insurance, principal interest, all that is tied into your mortgage, right? And you all of a sudden, after the first year, you notice a huge hike in your taxes, right? Because here in Texas, property taxes, okay? So that's one thing if you're not familiar with it, you will have property taxes, okay? We don't have state income tax, but we have property taxes. And it could be a little bit higher, especially in new communities. You will find new communities, new development, your property tax is gonna be higher. But that second year, you see a significant jump, okay? You see a significant jump in property taxes. You wanna make sure you do what they call, you file for Homestead. Homestead exemption will drop it down and it will keep it where they can't raise your taxes more than 10%. All right, now it's always different ways you can go around fighting that. I shared that in some of my other videos, how to kind of mitigate those property taxes if they just start to climb. But you want to be aware of that. A lot of times you get the salesperson for the builder, they tell you what the mortgage would be, and then maybe even your lender will say, oh yeah, this is your mortgage. Well, yeah, they're going to tell you that initially to get you in. But you want to make sure you ask them, hey, what is this probably going to be if you look at the next year or so, what my taxes could be? Because pretty much you're just getting taxed on the land. The home is not there yet, right? Once they get the home there, now you're getting your full tax rate and what you will see on your taxes, as well as HOA. Sometimes once you start building out a subdivision, they have a tendency to raise the HOA, maybe because the demand is needed to support all the different amenities and different things that's going on in the community. So just be aware that will change from time to time. You need to pay attention to your taxes after the first year. So be aware of that, because sometimes you can be below on your escrow if you kind of roll your taxes in as well. So you want to be aware of that. Also, HOA could change, okay? Just because amenities and things that are required to keep the subdivision and the different common areas to the standard that you want. So you want to be aware of those things, because sometimes those things they go unnoticed and you miss out on really being able to be ahead when it comes to your taxes. All right, so taxes, HOA, those are critical things. Okay, now the other thing is, when we talk about school districts, now I know sometimes people look at the overall school district rating and they're like, oh man, the school district might not be the best, okay? Well, what I would challenge you on is look at the new development and look at the different areas in the new development that I think we fail to realize that when they have new schools, the school district put a lot of resources. They hire some of the best principals. They hire some of the teachers, some of the better teachers. They want to be in those schools. And so for me, I want you to make sure when you're thinking about moving, you have a family, if you have young kids, that's really look at the school, okay? What I would tell you, usually those newer schools are going to be a little bit rated high because the school district are putting more resources in. They're putting in, newer technology to really support the new school. I take it from myself. I live in an area where my subdivision has been established. My son go to a newer school and they have some of the state-of-the-art equipment, some of the best principals, in my opinion. I'm kind of biased because, but the principals are great. The teachers are great. Everything just organized, really well. I feel like it was one of those things where we just landed on a gold mine because we had a new school being developed. So when you see new subdivisions, typically, depending on how big the subdivision is, you're probably going to see a new development, at least at elementary school. And some of those subdivisions might have elementary and a middle school. So when your kids when you're looking at for your younger kids, you want to take that into consideration. Because sometimes you'll see, the school district might not be rated as high, but then when you break down the school district and you break down the schools, you'll notice, oh man, this school is an A+ rating school. Not bad. And so that's one thing I really make sure to tell my clients, don't forget to really take a deep dive in looking at the school in the area, not just the school district. Unfortunately, me as a realtor, I can't share with you my opinion of the schools, the school ratings or school district. We can't do that, but we can guide you to different places to kind of do the research. Like you can go to niche.com, different sites like that to kind of figure that out. So the last thing that I think is really important when it comes to new construction is your home warranty. So that's one of the biggest advantages, right? You get a new home, everything is brand new, everything is like just top of the line, right? You're so excited about it, but things happen, right? Things sometimes can break. But what we end up doing, we live in life, we got things going on, we got kids, we got, so much going on that you forget you got some home warranties built into your purchase of your home. And so one of the things I tell all my clients with new construction, put in your calendar, put in your phone, the days your warranty is being, getting ready to end. Okay, so you want to give yourself maybe 90 days before your home warranty ends. Sometimes you find that, like for example, I had a window issue where I had a little bit of air got into the sill of my window. Well, my warranty was a 7-year warranty. Okay, now no big deal. I got it done in it happened within 2 years, no problem. But I immediately put my reminder, hey, this warranty ends in 7 years. Now granted, you switch phones and all those type things, but typically the calendar will kind of stay with you. And if that doesn't work, just send yourself an email. Send you and your spouse an email. If you don't, send somebody an email with the different time frames at which your warranty will expire, because it's just easier that way versus you dealing with a whole lot of paperwork trying to keep up with, hey, is this warranty, is it still valid, if it's not valid? Because things are going to happen with your home, especially if you got new appliances. I would recommend doing that too as well. It just kind of prevents you from having the stress of trying to find your paperwork. And then if it is, you still have your paperwork, you got it filed and you got everything organized, and that's great. You just take that paperwork out, make sure everything is according to plan. If you have things that need to be taken care of when it comes to your warranty work, you can get those things taken care of and you don't have to worry about paying out of pocket. A lot of times what I find is people have issues that come up and they don't get on those issues right away. You want to get on those issues right away. When you first get in your home, those first 90 days, you want to be really scrutinizing anything that's going on with the home. And at the same time, you want to be aware of your warranty, because as soon as you're out of warranty, certain things is only in warranty for a year. And guess what? Once that warranty is done, you're paying out of pocket. And last thing you want to do, you just spent your hard-earned money getting this beautiful home. You have a warranty, you pay for the warranty that comes with buying a new construction, but for whatever reason, you didn't keep up with it, and now you're out of warranty and you're paying out of pocket. So make sure you get your home warranty in your calendar, as well. If you don't feel comfortable with your calendar, at least put in an email chain where you can keep track of it and have a reminder for yourself, so you don't have to dig through all your paperwork, right? And you can really take advantage of those things. So as we go through this, I'm just going to give a quick reminder of the list. Really understand your lot, understand the build line and easements, understand the stages of building your home, and make sure with those stages you get that from your builders, so you can actually hire an inspector. It's very important you hire an inspector when you're doing new construction. Next is taxes and HOA. Do you understand that your taxes on your property initially is just based on the lot? It's just based on the land. It's not based on the home being on the land. Next year it will be based on the home being on the land, okay? The fourth thing is understand the schools within the area that you're going to be building in. Not just the school district, but the specific schools. Some people miss out on getting a great quality home, getting the benefits of that particular school within that district. And sometimes you miss out on buying. Maybe a home might be even cheaper because of, school ratings might not be the highest for as a school district, and especially bigger school districts. Let me just say that bigger school districts, you're going to find that, some schools going to bring the number down. But then there's other quality schools and quality, education being delivered throughout the district, and you just miss out on that. So make sure you look at the schools that are being built or being, in the proximity of the home that you're having built. And the last thing is plug in your warranties into your calendar, plug into, your email or some type of reminder system so you don't forget about those home warranties. If you can have those home warranties in some type of reminder system, you'll be able to check and make sure all those things is done before the warranty is out, and you get those things taken care of if something pops up. So I hope that makes sense. When it comes down to buying new construction right now, it's one of those times where a lot of people are looking to really find inventory, and new construction is kind of the hotbed right now. And so if you have questions regarding new construction, questions when it comes to, what do I need to look for when it comes to an inspector, what I need to look for when I'm going and viewing these model homes, feel free, give us a call, text, email. We love to help you buy new construction. We're in the midst of it right now with clients, and so I thought this would be a great time, great video to share with you guys what it's like to actually buy new construction and some of the hidden things that you need to look for when you purchase a new construction home. So if you have any questions, reach out to us. We look forward to working with you guys here soon, and you have a blessed day.